Heather from Heather Handmade, and today I'm going to review the SoStation by the original Scrapbox. The SoStation is actually just like a desk cabinet thing that your sewing machine can be stored inside, and it has other storage. It is really great if you like to put your machine away, but you needed a dedicated space to use it. So let me show you what I have in mind, and I will link to the SoStation down below in the description. So let me show you what is inside my SoStation. So you open the door like this, and it actually bends in half like this, and it can go all the way around. It just sits right here on the side, and this is what's inside when the door is closed. Then you reach up here and you take the top off so that there's a hole in the table. And the best part is there is a button here to raise your machine, and it comes right out of the top for your desk. And there is also, can you kind of see that? This is a clear insert that you put in. I put that clear insert in, it's right in here with my machine, and it makes it so the table is flush with the sewing machine arm all the way across the desk. So as you can see, this is the clear insert that I have, that I put in, and I put my sewing machine arm so it's the right level so that this is all the way flat. So if you have anything heavy or you just want to go really fast, then you can just, it just slides right across. This is really slippery, so it's not catching on your fabric. It helps your fabric go through smoothly. I love being able to see through the insert, and so I can see the bobbin, I can see what I'm doing when I'm switching my bobbin thread, and it makes it great for when you're switching that bobbin out for a different color, or just refilling it. I'm going to show you what I have. This is the left side of my SoStation. I'm going to show you what I put in these little clear totes. So this front one, I have all of my different pins, like safety pins, my giant pins that I use when I'm using thick fabric, and then my glass head pins on my magnetic pin cushion. You can tell that it's broken and I need a new one. Back here I have my extra needles, all my random ones. These are the ones that haven't been opened or used, and so that's why they're sitting on this side. I also have, so this is a random pin bottle I have, like it's a prescription we get, and I don't even take the stickers off, that's why I'm hiding it with my hand, but this is where I put, I'll open it for you. This is where I put all of my bent pins, my dull blades, anything that, my broken sewing machine needles, anything that's metal and pokey or sharp goes right inside this bottle, so that when I throw it away or recycle it or whatever, you don't worry about like a sanitation worker. They're doing their job and they get stuck with a needle or, touch a rotary blade. So it's nice to keep it safe in this, and then I don't worry about hurting someone. In the very back here, I have all of my sewing machine feet. So, and then the tools I use to clean my sewing machine. I have a Majig. I have my walking foot. I have my brush for when I clean my machine. The next one I have, this is just giant elastic rolls I have. So this is a 1 inch, and down here I have two 2-inch rolls. And then this section in the front, this is my wax chalk. This is how I like to mark fabric. I've marked fabric this way for about 11 years, and I'm not going to change anything else. I know some people don't love it. I love it. I love to be able to iron it, and it just goes away, and I don't worry about it disappearing when I mark it and walk away. And then down below I have all the rest of my elastic, so like swimsuit elastic or 1/4 inch elastic. I have some lingerie elastic. These and these are like whenever there's underwear being thrown away in my family, I cut off the elastic and I save it to use it again because the elastic still works. It's usually that the underwear is stained or it has a hole. And so I like to reuse it because I save a lot of money by just reusing elastic. So I have a bunch of different colors and sizes in here. This is kind of more the kid sizes, and I separated them so whenever I'm doing kid like leggings or pajama pants, I know that these are already the right size because they've already been wearing them, and I just grab one and sew it in. I also have a little bit of glitter elastic and some kind of like patterned elastic. So now I'm going to show the other side of the SoStation. This is the right side as it's set up, and it's kind of, I have to be from this side so I can show it to you. If I were, the other angle, you wouldn't be able to see. So I'm opening this up. This just slides out. It's really great. Down here I have all my serger thread, and I love, this is such a large space. I don't even have it all filled up. I don't use that many colors, but it's nice to have a dedicated spot. And then here and here I have my thread, and actually the SoStation, I think everyone else I've seen, they have these shelves angled the other way, but I don't like looking at the top of my thread, and I'm taller, so it could be that when I'm sitting I'm at a different angle. I like to look at the color, so I angled mine with the back going down so that I could see it, as I'm sitting here and looking down, I can see the colors. So my top row is neutral colors like black, white, gray, browns, and I put all of my bobbins that are those neutral colors right here. And then down here is all of my colors. This is my rainbow colors and maybe some unique threads like top stitching thread that is a color. If I had top stitching thread of a neutral, I would put it up here, but some of the things I have down here are kind of random colors and random types of thread that are not all purpose. So I like to organize it by color, and then within that I organize it by type of thread. So I love having my thread right next to my machine, so I just grab it, and I decided to put my full bobbins here so I could see them instead of digging around to find them. The very top part of the thread drawer is like all of my tiny necessities. So in here I have, this is my scissors that I wear around my neck when I sew, and this is like the first thing I grab when I sew, and I want to have it really accessible. It's great that it's right here at the top. I have little rulers. I know some people really like to use seam gauges while they're, sewing or measuring things, but I just like to have wooden rulers. I got in the habit a long time ago, and I tried to switch over to a seam gauge and I couldn't. I have my seam rippers right here, and then this is the thing you use to poke out corners. I don't even remember what that's called. Then I have all of my sewing machine needles here, and these are the ones that have been opened and are being used, so I know that they're right here. Over here I have empty bobbins, so it's easy to wind them when I need them. I did at first put all of my wound bobbins in here, but it was so hard to move them around to find the color, so I like putting them down here because it's easier to find the specific one I'm looking for. Over here I have some tags. Some of them are iron-on tags that I've made with my Cricut, and some of these are like size tags. Some of these are infusible ink ones that are like super soft. These are the handmade tags of actually my old logo that I have in here, and I haven't switched over to my new ones. These ones are just simple ones that say Handmade by Heather, and this is usually what I do when I sew my kids' clothes. I'll fold this in half and sew it in, like a tag like this. So it says Handmade by Heather, and then I have a little spot right there where I write the size, because when I'm sewing kids' clothes, it's easy to forget the size I sewed. Over here I have my quilt clips, which I actually don't use that often. It's specific projects I use it for. And so I put it back here, and I actually reach for my pins on the other side almost always, and this is for random things. But it's nice to have it close to my machine when I need it. And then, you know, when you're done, you just slide it right in there. It's so great to have that storage next to your machine. The other really cool thing about the SoStation is that you can actually connect it right to your Dreambox. So can you see, this is an extra table over here, this kind of square space. This is the table of my Dreambox, and I've connected this table, you can connect it underneath down here, so that I can pull out my other machines. They're over here. I pull it out and I sew, and then I'm using these machines and I'm just swiveling back and forth. It's awesome and saves a lot of time. It's really nice to have the extra table space right next to my sewing machine. So if I'm sewing like a big quilt or something, I have that space to save it. And when I need even more table space, I come back here and I can lift this table. I just put the leg out down here, and I have all of this extra space. So I can sew, and I have all this space. If I'm doing a coat or a wedding dress, I have all this table space to hold the heavy weight, and so it's easier to sew right here. Also, I've put my cutting mat on here, and I can cut out while my machine is still out, which is really nice to be able to use this as cutting space. Or I put my machine down and put the white table, insert the top back on, and I have all of this cutting space to use as a nice cutting table. It's not as high as I would like for a cutting table, but you know, I've always cut on this height of a table, so it's not that big of a deal for me. If you don't have the Dreambox, you still get this table space and this table space, which is great for, you know, you still get all that table space and kind of a cutting area, but you get the place to put your machine, hide your machine. If your kids touch your machine and you hate that, you can hide your machine away, and you have all of this storage in here and in here to put your stuff in there, and your kids won't be able to access it. The greatest thing about the SoStation is that you can close it. Everything is contained, and it looks just like a nice cabinet, and then you can walk away.